Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today we have a very special guest. Certainly very special to me. I kind of wish you were pitching on the Oklahoma State team this year. But Justin Wrobleski, Oklahoma State alum, obviously, and Major League Baseball player, joins Dodgers Daily again. Justin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, man, I know how competitive you are. I've seen it. I've heard it. All that. So it's kind of interesting for you. You're so competitive, like you're all about results. But then when you come back to AAA, you got to fight that process thing. So how do you deal with that? How do you sort that out in your mind?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, my biggest kind of focus this year and kind of what I've been, sort of trying to keep tabs on within these past couple starts is just kind of being more focused on the process and kind of, the adjustments I'm trying to make in order to get myself, ready to be back in the big leagues and continue to improve. I think it's just at the end of the day, like I'm still trying to win the game. Like I'm still out there trying to go six, trying to, do everything I can to put this team here in a position to win, because I think that's at the end of the day, like that mentality and that, style of pitching I think is what I need to be when I get up there. So I think it's just marrying like having the process and also like I'm trying to go out there, be a starting pitcher, eat innings. And
you're on the up-down train, so I wanted to ask you being so competitive that whenever you're up with LA, do you kind of feel that pressure, like if I don't throw the way I need to, I'm going to go back down?
I think for sure, I think you feel it, especially as guys and, myself and Knack and Bobby and all those, like all of us, like when you go up, like you want to make sure that you're, on your stuff and, proving that you deserve to stay up there. Even though in the back of your mind, like it's usually just for that day when you're up there. So, but it definitely makes it, I don't think it makes it any tougher, because for me, anytime I'm on the mound, like I'm trying to perform, I'm trying to, show my best stuff, and like at the end of the day, it's the same game, and you're trying to do the same thing, that you're trying to put yourself in the same mindset as when you're down here, like just trying to win the game and throw the ball as well as you can, and that's just kind of how it is.
You made one of the greatest statements I've ever heard, and I stole it from you, and I didn't give you credit. Success is not linear. What does that mean to you?
I think that, it doesn't always, and it's not always going to happen right away, as much as you'd like for it to. I think you got to put yourself in the headspace of you're going to do everything you can, whether it's that day, that hour, that minute, like to get better, because I think all of us here, like, you're talented enough to pitch in the big leagues. And me personally, it's like, I know I'm talented enough, and I know I'm going to pitch in the big leagues, and I know that I think it's more so like, I honestly like just trusting what God has in store for me, trusting, the plan, trusting that, if I do my job and work hard and kind of do all that, like it might not happen right away, but it's going to be, a road like this. There's going to be the ups and downs. And as long as your down is better than what your up was, 3 years ago, I think you're in a good spot.
So in the off season, last time we talked, you were really working on getting your breaking stuff in the zone to pair with your fastball, because your fastball plays at the major league level. How do you feel like you've done there?
I feel like I've done a solid job. I think these past couple starts, I've really thrown it pretty well. Salt Lake was honestly just ran into a patch of bad luck, but the rest of the outing, I felt like I threw the ball pretty well. So it's just kind of taking the little wins, and I think I've done a good job in kind of refining the breaking stuff. We're doing a few things with the delivery right now to get myself just a better chance in general, just to kind of get the ball on guys, and the results were pretty immediate last outing. So we just continue to kind of tweak things here and there and figure out where the stuff needs to be, kind of working on the changeup and using that more. So I feel like I'm in a good spot.
So I keep hearing this front to back breaking ball stuff, and I kind of consider myself somebody who knows a little bit about baseball, and I have no idea what that means. Can you explain that? Yeah,
so I think coming up for me, the biggest problem, I think, last year, a little different, because once I got to AAA, I was throwing, I was 6 to 8, touching 99. Like, I was throwing really hard, so I could kind of get away with just throwing a bunch of fastballs. And I think this year, probably come June, July, I'm going to be back around there. But just kind of trying to get something that's not in the same like velo band, so the slider would be, 88, 91, and I wasn't really throwing the sinker much, so it's like I needed that curveball for the front to back as far as like I'm trying to get hitters off the heater so that I can throw the heater, if that makes sense.
Right.
So like I flip a curveball in early or throw something slow late to freeze them, like that's kind of the part of my game that was missing last year. And
so it's more of an approach thing.
It's more of an approach, but the front to back for me is the curveball. So some guys it's a slower changeup, some guys it's, for all guys it's different pitches, but for me it's the curveball. Like that's the pitch that I'm going to use to kind of get them off the speed of my fastball to either open up slider or open up the four seam.
Cool. Okay, so you've had the chance to be around Clayton Kershaw quite a bit. He's rehabbed here, and I think he's probably going to rehab over the weekend at Oklahoma City again. Maybe the best left-hander of all time. I mean, I'm sure you picked his brain, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
I think, guys like Kirsch, having the chance to be around him for last year and this year, and just kind of watching him work and asking him some questions. It's honestly for him, it's just like he can throw the ball wherever he wants to. His approach is very simple, like based on how he's figured out how to get guys out, and he just made it as simple as he can. And that's kind of the biggest thing I noticed is like it seems like he learned, and then it was just like, all right, how can I perfect what I've learned and figure out like what I need to do with the fastball. I mean, it's been fastball slider. Everyone talks about his curveball, but it's fastball slider for
it is.
The past 10 years. Like the slider's the truth, and it's just like it's kind of seeing how he uses his slider is kind of the idea to what I'm doing with mine now. Even though like for me to have that type of slider with that type of impact, it has to be a little different shape just because release metrics and things like that. But it's been fun to watch.
Okay, man. Last question for me. I appreciate you joining. Robo, always an honor to get to talk to you. So, make the playoff roster. You're in the World Series like Ben Kasparius and Landon Knight last year. You're standing in Yankee Stadium. So, what things do you think right now at this second you're doing well enough to get through a moment like that? What things need to work on the most?
Yeah, I think I just need to go out there, and I think I'm doing a good job of it right now as far as like just go out there and throw your best stuff. I know quote unquote command is important, but for me, my command is the best when I'm just out there letting it rip. So I need to continue to kind of have that focus on like when I'm out there. And then I think as far as what I need to improve on, it's just kind of understanding when I need to throw certain pitches, kind of how the mix is going to work and come together. And then obviously just get this delivery things that we're working on dialed in. And I think once we're there, I think it'll probably make everything a lot easier. So I'm excited.
Justin Wrobleski, always known as Robo to me. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.